Let's talk a little bit about what we're trying to achieve here. Just like a mag light has 3 D cells in series, each one of those batteries is 1.5 volts, has the negative and the positive. And you put those 3 in series, so you got 1.5, 3, 4.5 volts. That's what we're trying to do with our e-bike battery, is that we're putting the cells, in this case this is the bad ones that I practice soldering on, but we're putting them together such that, just like that one cell has the positive on the one end, and you can tell by the ring these are the positives, and the flat end is the negative down here. This represents one cell. This one right here is just one cell. That represents one cell. So when you stack them together, like we did on our completed battery, and you stack those 7 high, and I put the Kapton tape on here over it, except for the ends right now, because I need to get access to those ends in order to do the voltmeters, show you what I'm doing. But in the same way, we're just stacking them on top of each other, just like we are if you stack these batteries on top of each other, one on top of the other, and you had 7 high. Well, we've got 7 high by weaving back and forth between starting at the bottom at the negative. The next brick is positive, where it starts off. This is negative. The next side is stacked positive. The next side up going is negative. The next side going up is positive, and so on till you get to the top of the stack, and then you connect the negative to the positive, to the negative, to the positive, to the negative, to the positive, and so on until you get up to the top. So when you have 7 bricks stacked together, and then I use those little fuses to connect them, then you wind up with 29 volts right now. And individually, there's somewhere 4.1 something. That one, I think my voltmeter is actually a little off, because when you get these voltmeters for free, you can't expect them to be, you know, as good as a fluke meter you paid 150 bucks for or something. But you got those hooked up. That one's hooked up to all of them, so you get the total voltage. And in the background, you see the E-Zip bicycle that I'm going to be using. You get a lot of flack from people for using an E-Zip. E-Zips have certain advantages. They're low cost. You can probably pick up a used one for around $200 right now. They have racks for 2 separate batteries, which is unusual. Most e-bikes only have the one battery, and when it runs out, you're out of luck. That actually has a switch on the controller that you can switch back and forth, so if the one battery dies, then you can use the other battery. And that switch is right there. Switches back and forth between the 2 batteries. It has a lower center of gravity than most of them because the motor is down low and the batteries are in the racks on the side. They're not up on top of the bike carrier like some of them have. They have an external motor, which is fairly easy to take off. I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world, but you know, it's not the worst either. And it has both a throttle and a pedal assist on there. So it does have those advantages at a low price. The disadvantages are that it's very heavy, has a top speed of about 17 miles an hour, and it's only got about a 9-mile range with this original lead acid battery. that we've got right here. This is the original Curry battery. Drop that down. That thing is heavy. Let's see how much this weighs. 16 pounds for the Curry lead acid battery versus 11 pounds for the new lithium ion battery.